Is that really true? Do the Malarkians really? Like, I've been with a few. They seem like nice
What?
people.
Do you think Malarkians don't have sex with otters?
It's just so far-fetched. I don't believe
Okay,
it.
okay. You think you know everything just because you don't watch the news.
Well, they're not credible.
Yo, they're not credible?
Yeah,
Titan 101 is not credible.
Like, that's debatable. But have they talked about Malarkians?
Yes, they have. They've
They
published. They've been reading out stories from the Times.
I don't even know
That's
what
a credible source. You know that city?
No, I don't, unfortunately.
You don't?
No.
It's like right outside the Milky Way.
Oh. Oh, that place?
Yeah.
Oh. That's like trying to say that one sauce.
Yeah.
I guess I just didn't remember it because of that.
Yeah, that's where. That's a pretty credible source.
Yeah, I guess.
They do so many extensive
I
studies.
still don't believe it. You'll have to show me an art. Oh. Oh, hi.
Is that a Malarkin?
No. It's a Segway.
Oh God. Oh, thank you for the segue. Crap, we're rolling. For any Malarkians listening, we
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Paper, and this
and
is...
I'm Monkey, and welcome to Midnight Crisis.
We hope you've had a
Well, that's
nice
what,
day so far.
so far.
Yeah.
We're actually doing this straight in the morning.
Yeah, it's quite bright out.
Feeling good, really. I'm back in the saddle of podcasting.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been, so we had the prep rally at the school.
At the spool, yeah.
Yeah, and I just did this homework, and all these kids went by like, I should be doing my homework. I wasn't doing homework. I'm sorry. I was doing this math problem.
Yep.
I was like, I should be doing my homework, and I wasn't doing homework. I was just doing it for fun.
You're doing it for fun.
And everybody was just like, well, this is not the time to be doing homework. Well, as they were walking out.
Mhm.
Because, okay, I was sitting in the front when the first person that could exit, when they said, it's time to go. But they said, sophomores, it's time to go. And I'm not a sophomore. So I just sat there as people went past me. And they're like, come on, not the time to do homework.
Well then.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really something.
That is something. So, Malarkians, we want to apologize.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
Are we going to give context? I don't know when we started rolling. Nah. No.
I don't think we need to.
No. Okay.
Personally.
Yeah.
It's fine. I don't think they'll take it. Like they know me. They know me.
The entire species.
No, like a lot of them know me, I'm sure.
That's like when Joe Biden did this whole thing about African American people. And what did he say exactly?
I don't know what he said because I don't listen to those speeches, but I know that they're hilarious.
I don't either, but there was this one time. No, it wasn't this election. It was an older election.
Uh-huh.
I think it was with Obama when he was like vice.
Uh-huh.
Right? And he said something like, I will give equal health care to the wealthy and the African American. And that's not a good thing to say, Joe.
Jesus. He says a lot of dumb stuff.
Yeah.
I forgot that he could say...
Now, like, it doesn't matter, but it's funny sometimes.
It's funny sometimes. Oh, that is
I think people call him Uncle Joe. And, like...
Why do people call him Uncle Joe?
Oh, I think some people just, like, think they like him.
Huh, we surprised you with political stuff.
I don't think that was very political. I think that was something funny that happened.
It's definitely funny. At least for our standard.
Yeah.
Damn.
Not a nice thing to say, Joe. Okay, segue. Quick.
Segue.
What are we doing next?
That is a good question. What are we doing next?
Didn't you write some stuff down?
I remember you wrote something about
I wrote everything down.
art planets.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, I still remembered that a little bit. I remember
a NIFT. We're very professional. I'm pulling up the Google Docs now. Oh, crap! I was supposed to do it in the first 30 seconds. Our previous upload is the best one we probably made, which is not saying much, but still.
Yeah.
It's still probably the best one we ever made. I don't think anybody saw it.
As of right now, it has like 2 views.
Which are both from me, I think.
Which are both from you.
And it doesn't run very long. Because I know people only listen to the first 30 seconds, and they probably pause it.
Wow.
Yeah. 5 minutes, and then you'd be hearing what we're talking about now, and then probably won't, but you gotta do it faster next
Yeah,
time.
that's a good point. Man, that's a damn shame.
Nah, it's alright.
Yeah. I bet it's gonna be all right. We'll get better at this
We will.
in time.
We're already infinitely better than the first episode.
Oh yeah, definitely. First episode was. We did like a couple mock episodes that I don't think we.
We should have added, yeah. What am I looking for? Or ideas for podcasts. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Where are we? I haven't deleted anything, so it's just
Oh, I see.
job talk was the last thing that's on the list. That's when I was large enough to resist.
Did we ever talk about? No, yeah,
No,
we
we did.
We definitely talked. About
Job talk. No visual learners. I don't know what else to say about that. You know that whole thing about visual, auditory,
that. Yeah.
kinesthetic, so forth learners? It's all fake.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to quote like a YouTube video, but Veritasium, do you know him?
No.
Okay, he's a science guy. He's a physicist and stuff.
Uh-huh.
He did a video about that. We quoted all the articles in the description. And it was that this one guy was puzzled by the fact that teachers could reach some students and not others.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, you know what would make sense for the answer? These different learning styles. And he's like, it felt like it would work. So I published a paper about it. And I made a website. And then now most teachers, like, they use it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though people don't really learn, like, there was a study where they took, like, students, 1,000 students of different, like, learning styles, visual and auditory, and they mixed them up and gave them lessons. They put 50, in each classroom there's 100, that's a bit much. Let's say, in each classroom there's, like, 50 kids. That was probably less than that, but there was multiple rooms. Oh, I'm sorry.
You're good.
They gave them they gave 50 of the visual learners. They put them in a room with 50 auditory learners supposedly and 50 visual learners supposedly, and then they gave that class a visual lesson, and then with the other one they had 50 again, but with a auditory lectural lesson, and the grades did not change for the two parties depending on where they.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's more of like willingness to learn is what I would think.
Yeah.
Because like most people in school don't want to learn.
Yes, except
Like they don't
except
want
me.
to. Either.
Except me.
Except you. You are the.
And I realized
the
today
minority
because
that
I
wants
was
to
walking I was walking to the prep rally and I was getting like all these teachers were saying hi to me, and I guess I'm pretty notable, just because I ask every single teacher so many questions that they want to die. My calculus teacher is already like, oh no,
Oh, you're that kind of student. Well.
no. So job talk, Hilda. No, I don't want to talk. We don't have to talk about that right now. What if millions of humans what if millions of humans lived on Mars? So imagine like humans became a space-faring civilization, at least to the point where there was a big colony on Mars. Maybe to the extent like the entire planet, or at least a notable portion of it was Mars.
Yeah.
Like, people lived there, or like a good portion of Mars was civilized and colonized.
Yeah.
Imagine getting on a call, a Discord chat, with somebody from Mars.
That would be.
And you're just gonna play a game together?
That would be horrible.
I mean, it wouldn't really work out because I think how long it takes to get information there is like a few minutes.
Yeah.
So they'd be, but you could have a call with them. You'd just be delayed a bit, and you wouldn't even. No, you would see a difference. You would have to each wait. Like you could have a text message with them though. Talking to somebody who's on Mars.
That would be so equally cool and horrible.
I know.
Like
Also, who would own Mars?
I don't know.
Because what's so weird is like imagine like a spread of culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
It all started with Europe,
Yep.
which became a large capital of like trade and so forth.
Yep.
Well, first the Mediterranean, which was a big part of culture, but then the Roman Empire came up, and then Christianity, and that spread it all to Europe, and Europe became the big thing.
Yep.
Then European ideas didn't really hit East Asia that bad, but Asia Minor and stuff got completely Europeanized.
Uh-huh.
And then Columbi man did stuff. Columbus.
Columbus didn't really do anything, though.
He started stuff. So basically,
Okay.
I mean, like, people, like, they already, like, people just journeyed there, but nobody ever cataloged it and started, like, a whole exploration of that place. And
Yeah.
colonization.
I don't like Columbus.
Nah,
I don't-
nobody does.
He's a very mean person.
He's a-
putting it lightly.
Putting it a little bit lightly.
I think when you commit genocide and
I mean, when you lead to
large
genocide.
scale-
But did you know he died on the streets, poor and homeless?
Did he?
Yeah, because he discovered it. Then he came back to Spain and said, "Look what I found," and he did it again. And then they didn't want him after that because they got a bunch of other captains to sail over there, and he wasn't needed anymore because he was a subpar captain. He was just reckless, really. And he died on the streets of Spain, homeless and alone.
Columbus, man.
So, but basically, Europe went over there, colonized everything, and brought their ideas of owning land to the Americas. Because Native American people didn't really have the idea of owning land. A lot, especially Northern American tribes, didn't own land. They didn't even think about it. It didn't even cross their mind that someone can own land. They kind of just all shared it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you don't want to enter somebody else's hut. But it's not like, you can't kill these monsters, these creatures. I should say monsters. Can't kill these creatures on my land because they're mine.
So like they had a territory, but
Like, no, they didn't even have a territory. Like, anybody could hunt wherever, could scavenge wherever, and so forth. But you don't want, like, run into somebody else's camp,
yeah.
right? And that's pretty ridiculous, right? That the idea, at least for Northern American tribes, of owning land didn't even cross their mind. And then when it came to Europe coming over, the only way that they could try to keep some of their culture was to own land. And, like, you own the Oklahoma territory, or you own these little pieces of land.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's something.
Then imperialism happened, and European ideas spread throughout the world, from the smallest little island to all of East Asia. These ideas of Europe spread everywhere. So basically, all of the world is basically like Europe in culture. Well, Asia less, but like most of the world still, right?
Yeah.
And what happens when we go to space? Now we bring Europe to space.
Europe
Now the
is really
entire
going places.
Now Mars becomes Europe, and the universe becomes Europe.
Huh.
So no, it'd be cool, but also a little scary if humans like could expand to intergalactic civilization.
Yeah.
Because that means humans won't die for like billions of years at least,
Mm-hmm.
until the universe completely ends.
Yeah.
Because right now we're limited to like when the sun blows up, or when at max if we can move past just this but not past our galaxy.
Mhm.
When the two galaxies collide,
Yeah.
I mean we're gonna die before that,
Oh well. Yeah.
of course. But that's the potential limit.
Yeah. That's the potential limit. Now there's always a chance that just we can be missed out of all this stuff happening.
No,
It's like-
no. The people calculate that our galaxy, Milky Way,
Mhm.
and another one, Andromeda, are gonna
Yeah,
collide,
they're gonna collide.
and things are gonna get mixed up, and two things are gonna happen. Earth is gonna get flung into space at 1,000,000 miles per hour, and become a giant cold ball, and everything on it dies. Or, it gets kind of joined in this new galaxy, but maybe somewhere else, and maybe it was a less good position. I don't know.
Second option would be cool.
Yeah, the latter would be pretty nifty.
Yeah.
I mean, humans would be dead by then.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But you know, it'd be cool if we froze, if we got flung off into space,
Mhm.
and everything froze over because space.
Yep.
The little creatures, little amoebas and stuff, would freeze over and they wouldn't die. They'd just sit there in stasis, and it'd be a giant, like museum kinda, or asteroid of life, moving throughout space for as long as it could go. not a single conscious creature there to recount it, but it's doing it.
Wow.
And maybe it crashes into a bigger planet with water and things that help out the creatures. And then those little amoebas throughout time turn into big creatures
And it starts
to
all
calculate
over again.
another planet launching into space.
That'd be really something. Like, eventually, after, everything, after the humans, what's gonna come next? Because it's kind of hard to think about that. After
Either
people, will there still be a sentient species? Or
Will
will
there
we
still-
split off? Will we
Well, do you
evolve?
think if we're to destroy the world,
Mhm.
do you think if we were to die, do you think we're to die to the extent where every living thing dies too? Or just us? Like, if it ends in nuclear apocalypse to everything and everywhere, everything's gone.
Well, cockroaches.
And also sea creatures. I'm assuming we're not launching missiles into the sea. But how many... Here's the thing, how many millennia are we... Like, how many millennia is there actually left for life to even exist before the sun dies? It's billion. It's a billion, right?
Is it?
A billion or two? I don't know.
I don't know.
But how much time is there for a new set of creatures to evolve and expand?
Mm-hmm.
Humans were here for like 500,000 years. And most of the time was not being civilized. It was just being big monkey men. Hairless monkey men.
Hairless monkey men.
Running around going, ooga, ooga, ooga.
And then all of a sudden, it's just like, wait a second.
Oh wait, farming?
Oh, wait a second. You can speak? We can make funny noise?
I mean, they were always speaking, but like...
Well, I guess, but
The
like,
languages wasn't
language
as good.
evolved, all of a sudden there was more
I
languages.
think the beginning of it was farming. That's what started all.
That's what started everything?
That's what started civilization. Because then multiple people could live in the same place
Oh,
and
yeah,
not
that's
use
a
up
good
the
point.
territory.
Yeah, that's a good
And then writing existed, so they can manage food.
Mm.
And then you need more people to remember this.
Yeah, and I remember
Then you
history
need more
of the
people
internet.
to build more houses for more people, and now there's business, money, law,
Social class.
social class,
All that stuff. Society. Like, all of that leads up to one
Oh,
big
also-
complex cluster of a
But
social
think about it like this: we think about being advanced as being us,
Mhm.
what we have. But this is European, right?
Yeah.
This owning land and stuff. So how do we know that this other human that could potentially exist would even have these ideas? Almost if it lives in a completely different environment, that it evolves in a specific way, where these ideas that we think about doesn't even cross its mind. And the things it thinks about can't even cross ours.
Hmm.
Because there's some things in society, just because we're grown up in a society, we live in a society, just because we grow up in a society, some things we can't even think of. Not even things that, like, the idea of nothingness, which is just humanly impossible, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But just in our society, there are some things that we can't even comprehend, even if we wanted to. Because we
Yeah.
wouldn't know what to comprehend.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But we can't think about what those things are, but we know they're there.
Mhm.
Those are things we can't think of.
Like a new color.
And not even that, that's just humanly impossible.
Yeah.
Because there's a spectrum.
Mhm.
I don't mean that, I mean like social things.
Social things.
Like, we wouldn't even... This is a bad example because we could physically think about this, but something like it. We don't usually think about going outside and it just like rolling on the floor, right? On the sidewalk. But we can't think about that. So that's an extent.
Mm-hmm.
But something that's socially related or politically related. Like even the idea of politics. How do we know that this creature will have politics? How do we know there's going to be people ruling over other people? That's a human thing.
Well.
Because humans want the head of the tribe.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason we have rulers, because we want one person to control everybody else. Because we have like a head of the tribe, and that's just how things work.
Well, ants, bees.
Yeah,
also do something like
but
that.
how do we know this
But they're
other?
more of a hive mind.
How do we know this other planet's not going to be different? You remember the creatures we're thinking of as the cosmic soup creatures, the ones that are just like little amoebas that split
Yeah.
up.
That is something.
So there's like no predicting what another species will be like.
Yeah.
We even think about like Native Americans.
Mm-hmm.
And we sometimes think, I wonder if they were left alone for a long enough period of time, if they would have, like, expanded, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, kitty. I have my cat here. He's a good boy.
We're in a different location this time.
Yeah.
This isn't my house.
Without Dog, but instead
Yeah.
Coot.
This is the
Kitty.
cat place.
Cat place.
Yeah, the other place is the dog place.
The dog house.
You know what? I'll give you that one. You don't get a
You
flick.
gave me something.
I'll give you that one. That one was okay.
He gave me something. Oh, what
Yeah.
was I talking about? Oh, if Native Americans, we say, what if they advanced to like guns and stuff?
Mhm.
But what do you even say that's what we define as advanced, because that's what we are.
Mhm.
What if they could evolve into something completely different, and we would have no clue what it is because we can't think about it?
Uh-huh.
It's like a new form of art, right? Right now we have television, which is a form of art, right?
Yep.
And movies, and paintings, and sculptures, right?
Uh-huh.
And we can't physically think of another version, but it could easily exist.
Yeah.
Everything that we could think of, like, maybe this is a new time of art, is just a version of something we already know, like a sculpture, or a film, or a photo.
Man, this is really trying to get my brain to work, and that's one thing that can't happen right now.
This is midlife crisis. This is what we do.
Yeah, this is what we do.
Okay, next!
We really done that quickly?
Okay, no, continue. You can keep talking.
Like, I've recently found a game. I haven't played it, but I've seen some people play it, called the Fermi Paradox. And it's
Oh, that's the
familiar.
one. Isn't that the one where you
It's
look in a
familiarized me with the actual thing called the Fermi Paradox, which, simply put, is what if we weren't alone in the universe and stuff, and what if we
the
made
Fermi
contact,
paradox is
right?
that we are alone, right? Because
Oh, is it that we are alone?
I forget. I know there's one that's saying we are alone because we are near, like, the universe has existed for billions of years and we've never run into anybody.
Well, yes, but the universe is also like a billion years long,
Yeah, so
so
that's the idea of
kind
it,
of
though.
hard. Yeah, I guess it's like in a wasteland looking for another person when most people have probably died.
Yeah, but then when you die, another guy comes up.
Yeah.
Because what are we saying? There's life somewhere. Also, we define life very specifically as us,
Yeah.
and we see life on Earth.
Yeah.
But life is just, we think about life, remember, we haven't had the biology thing, but we
Yeah.
define it as very specific things, like reproduction and growth and evolution and stuff, right?
Yep.
But how are we even sure this other thing called life would even be considered life to us? This unthinkable thing that we can't comprehend. That, what happens if that's life to them, to their perspective? I am living, and that thing and us is like a rock that's just sitting on Earth.
That'd be. Man, this is really getting my brain to go. Ooh,
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 monkey brain,
monkey.
neuron activation.
Because we define our what life is so heavily on ourselves, right? On our perspectives that we only know one of, for the fact of it's ours.
Yeah,
It's only one thing that you know, that you're existing right now, right?
I guess. But
So what would the other existence even be like?
what would? Because we have a definition of life. We
Yeah,
have
for the things
we
that
have
we are.
set parameters.
But we
for
evolved
what
from
is
those
life.
things, so they're going to be
But,
similar,
but
right?
also, why would there be another definition to life? Because
We can't think about it because we don't know it.
exactly, but like
We don't have any
we look
examples.
around us and we look at other examples of our definition of life here. Like we look at animals, we look at insects, we look at plants. Those are all definitions, or our definition of life, and
But
we
what's
all
the-
share that thing in
Yeah.
common. We've all evolved, we have all reproduced, we have all eaten, strived to survive through certain
Yeah.
events and whatnot, and we're all here now. So why is there? How? Yeah, I'm starting to get it. How could there be another definition? But there definitely. It's probable that there could.
Why
be
are we
another
considering reproduction a definition for what life is? Is life existing? Is it being present?
Well-
is a tree present, or does it just perform actions that happen to persist itself? What is persisting itself anyway? What defines when a tree is dead or not, and why is that given that value?
Huh. Well, I mean, I guess you don't have to reproduce in order to. be alive.
I'm just saying, like, why isn't a car alive?
Well, I mean, I remember we've talked about this
Have we?
before, and
Yeah.
we do agree on this. A car can technically be considered a living thing,
Yeah.
although it heavily relies on.
The point of that, the point, I'm not sure if I said it on the podcast, the point of that, the whole example that the car could be alive,
Mhm.
is that our definition of alive is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't know how to, give me a second.
And not just to add that, but we also have consciousness.
Yeah.
We have this ability to like think for ourselves in
But what
more
is-
ways than survival.
But what is even thinking for ourselves? Because we define sentience as what we do.
Exactly.
But what happens if there's some other thing that we can't comprehend because our mind is only neurons
Mhm.
giving pulses with very specific possibilities.
And yet we have this
could-
personality from like
Yes,
our minds.
our emotions, everything is just neurons
All of
firing in
this-
the right order.
It's like it feels like it's some imaginary force that can't be explained, yet it's there.
Yeah, it's our
very
mind.
clearly there, but it's hard to figure out what is there.
Because what happens if there's some other form of sentience
Mm-hmm.
is that we don't call sentience because we don't know about it and we can't think about it because this is what we consider sentience, our brains.
Yeah, we consider ourselves
sentient.
sentient, and we
It's
don't
like
know of
trying.
anything
It's like trying to define. I wonder if there's any rocks out there when you look in a desert,
else. Mhm.
right?
That is something.
Or not, maybe not a desert. When you're in a. I wonder if there's any sand in this forest, right? You may find a little bit,
Yeah.
a few examples,
Yeah.
but you know what else is there? There's wood and trees and leaves and
Mhm.
all these millions of things that aren't sand, and that to their perspective, they're looking. Is there any other rocks here? What is that? Is that sand? It's not anything. That's just sand. And we're saying that's just a rock. And the trees are saying that's just a rock. And that's just sand. And we are what is.
Mm.
Not those things.
This feels so weird.
It's funny because you can't really dig too far into it because the idea that you are limited in what
Yeah.
you can even think about kind of stops you there.
Yeah, because
Because you can't decide if it's false or true because
we don't have enough information to
we
determine
the theory is that we physically cannot consider it if it is true because we don't know what it could be.
that. Damn, you've hit me. You've hit me.
Is that a
Direct
midlife
hit.
crisis?
Yeah, that is a direct.
All right, we
hit
got our
into
midlife crisis for
into-
the
to my
episode.
brain. You went right through my skin, the muscle, the skull. You went right into the brain right there.
On a different note, did you hear who's playing Mario in the new Mario movie?
Chris Pratt. Why?
I don't know.
You have someone who already voiced.
picture now.
That is weird. I find it so funny that it's Chris Pratt.
Yeah,
of all
Chris
people.
Pratt.
So there's gonna be a Mario movie. I didn't watch Nintendo Direct. All that stuff.
Yeah, I just heard it from RJ.
Yeah. Chris Pratt
Yeah.
playing Mario is like, I can't even compare that.
Mamma mia.
Just because I just rewatched the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, so like I remember how Chris Pratt.
Can you do like a surprisingly good voice or something?
No, I don't even know. Like,
It's an Illumination movie too, right?
is it?
Yeah. They chose Illumination. First of all, Nintendo, my boy, I love you. I love Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo's great.
You're a good guy. Don't choose Illumination.
But what?
DreamWorks, I'm fine. Disney, they're already an empire and they will never allow it. But if they would have to, fine. Not Illumination. Can we go on an Illumination rant? Do we both know the issues with them?
I don't know that many issues. I'm kind of interested in why you don't
Okay,
like
okay.
Illumination.
Illumination. The animation's lazy. I know it looks pretty, bright colors and so forth,
Uh-huh.
but it's the same exact animation style all the time, with these bright, blobby characters.
Oh shit, you're right. Wait, so when I hear Illumination, I instantly think of like Despicable Me.
Despicable
What's
Me.
another movie?
The
Can you-
Grinch,
The Grinch.
the animated Grinch, the new one.
That one was a little different. Although it was still as bright, the character shapes were definitely different from Despicable Me. Can you give me another one?
Minions, I guess.
Well, I mean, that's basically
given.
Despicable Me.
And they have like the 4 different Despicable Me's. What else did Illumination do? Oh my god.
I feel like...
Yeah.
I feel like they did... No. Who
What,
did
oh wait,
Hotel Transylvania?
did they?
Who did...
No,
who did
I
they?
think that's DreamWorks.
Yeah, I was thinking it was probably DreamWorks.
DreamWorks are respectable, surprisingly.
Yeah.
They have like a 50-50.
DreamWorks have a lot of different animation styles.
Okay, they're like,
It's like-
come on, DreamWorks, come on, or they're like, good job, bud.
Yeah, it's like...
Prince of Egypt compared to what's the worst DreamWorks movie you know?
Worst DreamWorks movie that I don't know. I don't pay
Shrek
attention.
4.
Did you just call Shrek a bad movie?
Oh no, Shrek 3.
Eh.
The third one with the babies that puked all the time.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Okay,
no.
cool.
Yeah. No, you got me. You got.
Okay, so Prince of Egypt 2.
Now, Shrek and Shrek 2, I like those movies, and I think a lot of people can agree with me on that one.
Oh yeah, the first thing in news it says Chris Pratt and Mario.
I can't believe it. I can't believe Chris Pratt is gonna be Mario.
Okay, continue talking. I'm sorry.
I.
Oh, Secret Life of Pets.
Okay, that one wasn't too bad. I feel like.
No.
No, actually, wait a second.
Just think about the animation.
Just
for this
think
part.
just about the animation.
Right, it's blobby. It kind of, maybe if you squint, it looks pretty if you don't really think about it.
Yeah.
Then you look at it, and you're like,
and then you compare it to Despicable Me, and it's like, wait, it's like the same thing.
the Lorax.
Yeah, I was just about to say, didn't they
Oh
do
right,
the
that's
Lorax?
a young, but that's the exact same animation style. But
I like the animation
I have a-
style for the Lorax.
I have a, well, it's the same as everything else, but I have
Oh,
a
yeah.
special place in my heart for it.
Mm.
Sing, whatever that was.
Well, animation style-wise, I think Sing was a bit different.
I mean, that's the least of their issues, animation, but you can at least see how it's all
Yeah, I
like,
can see how it's very similar.
So like,
They don't change.
they
it
don't
up
really
that
change
much.
it at all. And then, I mean, I think Disney's been having that issue lately with their, not Pixar, but Disney specifically.
Disney was-
With, okay, name a difference between the new one with, it's based on Thailand.
Thailand. Wait,
It's, a
what?
new, it's Raya and the Last Dragon.
Oh, that. Sorry.
Compare that one with Frozen.
Oh
and
yeah,
the
that
characters may be a little different, but you see the...
And then you look at Moana,
Yeah.
and then you look at like most of the movies. Well,
Here's the issue, but here's the good thing about those, at least. Even if the animation style is different, they have other things going for them.
Yeah.
Moana's fun. And also the musics are bops, because it's
Yeah.
Lin-Manuel Miranda. And I don't care how much you like musicals.
Yeah.
It's Lin-Manuel Miranda, so you like...
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So...
I like
But-
Moana. Out of those three, I think
Yeah.
I like Moana the most, personally. I'll be honest, the big crab sold it on me.
the big... Yeah,
The shiny
Tamatoa.
crab.
Tamatoa. You know... I mean, remember that? You know the one episode of Rick and Morty with the giant fart gas that creates gold?
Yes.
Same voice actor. It's Tamatoa.
Wait, no way.
Yeah.
Wait, the fart gas that like whispers in some dude's ear and makes him
Yes.
kill himself,
And then kill
which
the entire...
creates and kills like the entire. That
It's the same guy as
You know what?
Tamatoa.
That makes sense. The
Yeah.
same chaotic energy. Tamatoa and the fart cloud.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So,
That
but-
makes me even more of a fan of
but
Tamatoa now.
the jokes in, like, Illumination are just, like, these really drawn out.
Yeah.
Maybe only slightly funny at the beginning, but then they just hold it.
They do a lot of like child jokes, stuff like that. I remember like a lot of. I'm mainly thinking Despicable Me here because that's what they're.
If
most
you want
famous
a
for.
better example, the 0 people that are listening right now,
Yeah.
if you want a better example of more examples of, I'd look up, I think it was a review of, like, the Grinch movie, and they're just like, I'm so tired with Illumination's crap. Same stuff all the time, right?
Yeah.
But, like, the jokes that they're gonna put in the Mario movie are probably just gonna be just like everything else. Because they do simple things, they know what they do, and they keep doing it, and they never change.
It's like the same.
It's like, think about it like this.
Now, if
You have
the
an artist, right?
Mhm.
An artist likes to create.
Yep.
And you have this one guy that figured out this one style that makes him a lot of money. He
Yeah.
puts in 0 effort, basically, because he just knows it.
This is reminding me of a specific cover artist that doesn't even make his own art, but it's basically the same thing.
Really?
I watched this YouTuber called Penguin Z. basically, he used to be called Critical. Everybody calls him Critical. His name is Charles White. He does a lot of cool stuff, and he has reviewed this one artist, I say in air quotes,
Yeah.
who basically is probably the laziest artist, in air quotes, known to man.
Yeah.
Because, like, he takes... One of his works is literally just an emoji with different shirts on. Multiple times, like 16 times. And that was, like, cover art for a pretty popular music creator.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be modern art. It's supposed to be...
That couldn't be modern art. Modern art's very iffy when it comes to that
Exactly,
stuff.
but people call it modern art.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the
And-
picture with what's the one actress's name? She's really popular.
You might want to narrow it down a little bit.
60s.
Don't know that much.
What is it called? It's this modern art piece, and it's just okay. Art.
So an actress who's in her 60s?
No, she was popular in the 60s.
Oh, popular in the 60s. Then I would not know. I do not know that much about before 2000s.
Maybe 60s, maybe 50s. I forget.
Man, I still have it in my head that, like, before 2000s was, like, black and white, and then after 2000s was color. Even though that definitely doesn't make sense. It's weird.
Pop art. I think that's it. Yes, it's Marilyn Monroe.
Oh!
Have you ever seen the picture with her? It's the 50 faces.
50 faces? I have not.
Okay, I'll show you it. So, give it a second. You can keep talking though.
Alright. But, like, I still think, after all of my years of living, I think the longer that I live, the more I think this. But, like, before the 2000s, it was just all, like, black and white TV shows. Like, all of that, like, grainy colors and stuff like that. And then afterwards, it just became more smooth, and I don't know why I think that. Because I feel like it's just two separate time periods, and that there was a barrier in between them, that something happened. Even though that's not the case.
Yeah.
Because time flows constantly. Because years don't matter.
I can't find it.
It just
My
helps
God.
us
Wait.
mark down what happened on certain dates, certain days, certain times, while everything in time is strung together, piece by piece. Certain things happen all around, and it's just...
Yeah.
There's no reason why there should be, like, a specific barrier in between two times. Yet,
I can't
there is
find it
in my
for the
head.
love of me because everyone makes Marilyn Monroe art, and I can't find the one I'm looking for. Just keep talking. That's fine. I'll find it.
But that's just a little side tangent. I don't have much on that. Now, back to the artist that I was talking about. I forget his name because that's how little he really means to me. But, this guy, like, he's not horrible per se in what he's doing. Because, as described by said YouTuber, Critical, he basically scams rich people
Oh.
into thinking that his art is important, stuff like that. I'm paraphrasing heavily, because like I watched the video a little while ago. I don't remember everything, but
There it is. I had to look up APR history because that's where I remember it from when I
Uh-huh.
took that class.
it's like people give it importance because it costs money. But
This is an incredibly famous artwork.
it's
I guess I
just-
can put it up on the screen right now.
I
but won't.
guess if you can do that. It's like the process of drawing it. And
No,
then
it isn't that.
coloring
It's
it.
supposed to. It's very slight. Like these marks of the
Mhm.
blacking out. That's on purpose. Everything was meticulously on purpose. But it's the same face almost every single time. Some guy made something out of soup cans. Another person did this little video display. And someone took off a toilet seat from an art museum bathroom, put it up on display, and called it an art piece. And it was put in the museum. And, like, everybody thought about it and, like, Art's ridiculous. But is that, like, the kind of scale of that art? When it comes to modern art, it gets iffy. It's supposed to, like, represent life and death. and the existence of duality between
That's
existence.
supposed to represent art and death.
I know it kind of gets weird when it comes to modern art, but just
It's-
because something looks dumb and it's called modern art, you gotta really think about it.
You gotta think about
Because
it.
there's a chance it's like genius. Oh my god! And
I like thinking that art is good when it looks good, not when it
yeah, no,
provokes something.
don't think like that, because the most popular art, the most beautiful art era was let me see if I can find the photo. It was called Women on. It was just I think it was just the Woman on the Swing.
Oh, that's gonna be loud.
Okay, look at this painting. Oh, we'll wait a bit.
Yeah.
That was a zoom car. That was a big
No,
truck.
that was a big
A
truck.
big trucker. Okay, cool.
Big truck.
Look at this. Oh wait, let me find a better photo. Okay, look at this photo.
Yep.
Doesn't that look pretty beautiful?
That looks great.
The colors and stuff.
That looks
Okay.
wonderful.
Now this was the worst art era ever. This is called Rococo. You know why?
Why?
Because it was a bunch of aristocratic fluff. There was no meaning to this. There was no artistic intent here. It was just supposed to be everything's so nice for this rich lady, and she has a lover down there who's next to the Cupid, and then this in the corner you could see the servant pushing her on the swing. It was just my teacher called it cotton candy. Basically, it was just fluff. Now let me show you a more meaningful painting, and I gotta think of a good one. What's the best? It's a popular one, so you may be like, yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, that one's just genuinely beautiful too. I gotta find one that's not.
But does art have any solidified meaning to it? Isn't it interpreted from person to person? Isn't that the
Yeah, but
purpose?
an artist has.
Or do they want to send out a specific message?
Give me a moment. Oh wait, I'm just gonna go in impressionist art.
Because now I'm not much.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Which one looks more beautiful? This one or the previous one?
Previous one definitely looks beautiful.
This one though is 10 times more meaningful, and the other one is just a happy scenario. This one actually tries to paint a picture of a duality, of a difference in life and a comparison, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to art, you gotta put on your pretentious glasses and then just go full deep into it.
But I feel like that's the thing that draws me away from art.
This is my favorite art piece ever.
Pretentious glasses.
But
I
once you
understand-
put it on, it's so much fun. From an outsider's perspective, maybe not. This is my favorite art piece.
Huh.
Which one looks better, this one or the Rococo one? This guy could draw. You know the Rococo one I talked about with the lady
Yeah.
on the swing.
Yeah.
This artist could draw that way.
Mhm.
He could if he wanted to, but he chose to draw like this. This is an artistic movement called Fauvism. It's called the Goldfish. This is the name of
Well, yeah. That
it
makes
uses
sense.
bright colors to represent a
Are you gonna show the pictures on screen?
I
as
will,
we're talking
yeah.
about? Okay.
It shows these really bright different colors.
You might want to copy them and save them in the notes.
I mean, I think I remember them.
Oh, okay. That's,
These are all from
oh,
class.
sorry for interrupting you.
It's supposed to using different colors to represent a sense of pure bliss and happiness,
Mhm.
along with a idea of the subconscious, which is kind of vague, but
Yeah. I guess I can see that.
right. But and then you gotta when you're looking at it, when you're looking at the meaning and the picture, it's difficult when you just see a picture, right?
I guess, yeah.
But
I think
when you know the meaning behind it, what it's trying to represent, or you're trying to figure it out, it's much better than a lady on a swing, right? As there's lovers down below and this guy is pushing her on the swing, compared to a painting about the existence of humanity
well,
and the confusing nature to it.
well, here's the thing. I think I'm gonna go into dramatics here,
Yeah.
but I think out of these two, what would you rather? Would you rather a very colorful, a very eye-pleasing painting that means that was created to have no meaning? It just looks nice. Or would you rather have two brush strokes on a canvas that means a lot?
The latter.
You would rather have
the
Two
two
brush
brush
strokes.
strokes that means a lot to you.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, maybe not just two brushstrokes. I like impressionist art and things with a little more.
say there's a
I can
brush stroke.
I can respect things with just like two brushstrokes,
Mhm.
but it's not exactly what I like.
But that's pretentious as fuck. Nobody
but
is gonna like you for
To an
that.
idea of a pretentious person, your perspective is ignorant as.
Yeah, because nobody likes pretentious people other than pretentious people. That's
And-
why that the art community is like shoved off of their own. People don't like people like that.
Okay, but like when you. This piece, Scream.
Yeah,
You've
the
seen
Scream.
this before?
Yeah.
Okay, this is. I don't know how to describe it, but the moving flow it's supposed to elicit this fear, like the concept
Yeah.
of fear in physical form.
And the
That's
painting does a
nifty.
good job to do it.
But when I see the lady on the swing, I don't see anything in that. Like I would have, if I have a picture of this environment right here, this could mean nothing, and I'd love this.
Uh-huh.
The view of everything, I could think about stuff. But when I see a lady on the swing, the picture of the lady on the swing, I can see what it's direct, what it's saying. Okay, it's how can I relate this?
Does art have to?
Would you rather have a book with a fluffy book with werewolf love, right? About this tough werewolf who meets a girl and he opens up to the high school world, right? Yeah, that kind of movie.
The audio listeners can't see it, but my face is very scrunched up. I don't like that. I don't.
Or a story about a representation of a werewolf as a human.
Keep going.
A representation of a human who's outside of society and seen as bestial. And a single person opening up to him. That's still very fluffy, but that's better, right?
I personally, yes, I like the latter. I like the second
But
one.
only because you like the first one so much worse.
Yes, I hate the premise of the first one. I hate stuff
Let me
like
choose
that.
a better thing.
Choo-
How about like a slice of life story about some kid going through high school?
Okay.
Okay. Or a story about this guy who watches birds. Now, each has the potential. Okay. The story about the guy watching birds has more potential than the kid who just goes to high school, right?
Well, that's
When you say high school, like, how much drama can you put into it? You can inject drama, sure, but how can you relate that to your personal life and just like, oh, that's a fun story? Or, like, that
Well,
is...
the thing is that not everybody watches birds. How could you relate that into your personal life? I'm gonna be devil's advocate here because I don't
Yeah.
like high school
Exactly,
stuff.
so that's why
But, like,
it wouldn't be about...
People can relate to high school.
Yeah, but this isn't
'Cause
about people
almost-
relating. Not necessarily. This is about you seeing something like, seeing something, a broad concept. Pretentious mode, kind of like that, in your personal life. Or just not even in general, just having this idea debated through the idea of birds. Maybe it shows freedom or something else. And
Well, yeah, 'cause
the
flight-
beauty of it,
Flight equals
the beauty of it, is that it can be interpreted. All those, the picture of the girl on the swing looks pretty, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a girl on a swing.
You're shaking. Jesus Christ.
It looks pretty, but all it is just a girl on a swing, and her secret lover down below, just like reaching up, and as she's swinging past behind the bushes, and then this happy servant just pushing her.
So
There's nothing that like.
is what you're going for here is
So I start struggling a bit here because I can't get my words together. But basically, I'm trying to say that with the lady on the swing painting, there's nothing to really interpret there. While with more impressionist art, there's a lot you can interpret.
physical relatability to more interpreted relatability.
Yes,
That's what you're telling me here.
I may be a bit. I guess kinda, but
Because that's what I'm getting from this. Because, like, birds can represent stuff. Because flight usually equals freedom, stuff like that. And birds, just specific kinds of birds, like the kookaburra, that laughs, that can represent joy or insanity or whatever you want.
Yes.
Crows represent death. Doves represent purity.
sure, yeah. It can be
and then
interpreted.
yeah, that could be interpreted, which I guess is fun, but sometimes you also just want a flat story that tells.
Think about it this way: if you have a painting on your wall in your house,
Mhm.
right? Something just looks pretty, right? Like
Yes.
the girl on the swing or something else.
Mhm.
How many times are you going to think about that and ponder it? And you stare at it and you think, wow, this really... You know what? Something I remember? This is going to be a dumb example, but I was playing Civ 6. One of my enemies was Sweden, and they're like a diplomatic, cultural kind of thing where they create a lot of artist units,
Yep.
and they can make a lot of art pieces from that, right?
Yep.
And then one of their insults towards me was, I bet you like a piece of art only when it puts the room together. When it makes everything look nice together. When it makes the wall color and the furniture work together. Compared to something that you can sit and ponder and realize this is a part of my house. Something that you kind of have a connection to. And a concept and a philosophical idea that you always think about. That you are in your domain is in your domain, basically. It's kind of your thing.
Uh-huh.
Right? Would you want something that you could sit and ponder at? Or something that just looks nice? And I don't think you'd... If you had the girl on the swing on your wall, I think you might glance at it, you'd just like, look, oh yeah, I have that painting over there, and just keep walking. I have a painting inside the house.
Yep.
It's Imperial. Oh wait, no, we changed it. That looks pretty modernist, right? Here, get up. I won't show it on the picture, but I don't care. Come on, let's go.
Oh, okay. Well.
We'll be back.
Okay, then.
Let's take a look at it and then we'll go back. Alright. Look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's sit down now. Basically, it was a bunch of random, like, blue lines and white lines on the board, and it's supposed to, like, represent, like, a beachy kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Is that something I would automatically like? No. There's no... It's just an attempt to be, like, beachy. I mean, that's because I know the context of it. If I didn't know it and I stare at it, it's still not very, like, interesting, but... It's not... Rococo doesn't... Okay. Rococo doesn't... It's not the fact that it looks pretty. Or doesn't look pretty. It's the fact that it doesn't tell anything.
Mhm.
And when it comes to how society progressed, just through how things work, it was always on a lift. Where when you'd have more artistic design, you'd have less meaningful stuff. And vice versa. It doesn't have to be like that way necessarily, but it always tends to be that way. Because when you make something... Because this Rococo existed in a time, whenever anybody looks at that painting and thinks, oh, that's Rococo, they think it's meaningless. Because that one was. So if you had something that could look... And because changing a format has a meaning in and of itself, there was one artistic design, which was just a barber shop with a bunch of mannequins standing around it. It was something people could walk through. It was in a small town. It wasn't an actual barber shop. It was just a bunch of, like, things set up. And there was a television screen of this. It was a little boy, like, it looked like a little boy, like a shirt and stuff. It was like a stand. And a television on its head of this guy crying.
What?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you supposed to take out of that?
It was like a representation of unhealthy masculinity, because in this barber shop, there was a lot of these like feminine, because in Italy, because the guy came from Italy, it was like from his experience. You would go into the shop and everybody was like, because everything else in that was very like masculine things. There was like a pool table, a bar, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just like headless armor stands sitting around. It was supposed to be a set of like uncomfort, but also like seeing how you would react to the experience of the guy crying. Some people would be put off by it, also other people would sympathize.
And so, if you were to walk in there without knowing who made it, without knowing the story behind the painting, you could piece together what happened?
Probably not.
Then, how is it meaningful to you?
Because you could interpret it.
Well, yes, but by
Also-
saying that, couldn't you also interpret the girl on the swing? If you said that was made
Okay,
without...
tell me one thing about that. We both don't know a single thing about it. Actually, no, I know stuff about it. Because we had to read multiple articles about these pieces. Of the individual pieces. And you know what the main thing about the article that was being talked about?
Yep.
The main meaningful thing in the article? Was how it didn't have any meaning.
That's how it did...
It was just an
How
aristocrat.
can you tell when something doesn't have meaning just by looking at a picture?
You think about the context. When was it made?
Think about the context. Okay. Then
Ma-
if you are looking at the picture, you can tell when it was made, looking directly at the picture.
You have to know a bit about the artist. That's part of the piece, a little bit.
Then why would you have a picture in your house?
Like, have you ever read a book in English? Well, a big book that you like. This is the big thing we're doing for the English year.
So wait,
without learning about
so
the
you're
artist.
telling me if there is this artist that
This has
nobody
been
knows
going
about,
for a while.
their first painting, and they make something. They just put it out there with their own feelings put into it, with how they view the painting, and they don't tell anybody else. Nobody knows
Yes.
this artist.
Yes.
You're telling me that I don't understand. I don't
If
understand.
nobody knows this artist,
thought.
how does that have meaning?
Exactly. Because if you have to know the artist, if you have to know the context behind the art,
Have
then
you
it's
ever
not
seen
the
somebody-
art in it itself
have you ever
that's
seen, like, a-
meaningful.
yeah.
It's the process that is meaningful. Not the art.
That's what art is. It's like
Art is the
saying
completion
that's like
of a
saying the
process.
background of the Mona Lisa is good, but not the whole thing. It's the process. It's like, okay, here let's figure out a good example. I mean, two things. One, it's not just that in some cases, and in other cases, I see what it's exactly that.
Hold on, show me the picture again.
The lady on the swing.
Yep, show me the picture of the lady. On
It
the
was
swing.
made to be sold.
It was made to be sold. Thank you for that information, but I just want to look at the picture. Let's just say I'm illiterate in the art world. I don't know people that make art. I don't know the story
On the
behind
other
them.
hand, that could
So
mean
if
that you're
if I look at art, I could try to derive my own meaning from it.
exactly okay.
So
Cool.
you can't.
Oh wait, I should pick a different one then.
Yeah, because like if I looked at that, I could probably take something from it. Because it's a girl swinging on a swing on a sunny day in a lush area. That
Okay.
looks like happiness to me.
Okay, it is happiness.
That looks like a good
It
time.
looks like happiness.
It looks
yes.
like how does the, now I'm not looking at the picture right now,
Yeah.
but if I remember correctly, is the girl a child
Nope.
or an adult? It's an adult.
It's she's like a young woman.
So it could be like the bliss of being young. It could be
No,
the
she's
fun-
like a young woman who has a lover.
who has a lover. All right, let me see.
Okay, so let me describe you through the paint. The guy in the bottom left
Mhm.
is her lover.
Yep.
He's kind of creepily looking up her skirt as she swings,
Yep.
but she knows he's there.
Uh huh.
Right there's the god. There's like Cupid, the god, looking down at him, going like, "Oh, good job, bud.
Okay.
You're an aristocrat. Good job." And over there is the servant, unbeknownst to what is happening.
And then
he's
there's
happily
light
swinging.
shining on the girl.
And there's this light shining from the background to the girl. Now I gotta say, these backgrounds are beautiful. These are very nice backgrounds.
Mhm.
But it's kind of, and then you see these angels looking at her, right?
So
And her shoe flying off. Cool.
So what you could see is some innocence in this, albeit maybe this could be innocence, and then the
I wouldn't say-
background
no,
is
the-
corrupt in the innocence because that person isn't truly innocent if they're using a servant to swing the swing.
No, but this isn't innocent. I wouldn't say a guy looking up your skirt is very innocent.
Well, yes, but I'm talking about the woman herself,
no, but she knows that's
she's-
happening. She's like being flirty with him.
so she knows that that's happening.
Yes.
So while she looks pure, she's being looked on by angels, by Cupid.
Yeah, but
while
they know
she-
what's happening. The Cupid's like, "Good job, love."
Exactly. So while all of this, it's like I gotta take a moment to like think about this.
Exactly.
Because you can definitely ponder this. It's
Yes.
not meaningless.
No, well-
just because it was made to be meaningless doesn't make it meaningless to everybody.
Not everything was made in an attempt to be meaning. Well, here's the thing. Some people did make things that are pretty meaningful, relatively. Okay. Just because it was made just for the purpose of being sold
Uh huh.
doesn't always mean we just look at it like whatever. There's another Baroque design. Looks like that. Pretty. Oh, the characters look like that. And it's about like, but it's looking at the things. In that case, that paint, it was looking at like aristocracy and how rich merchants would make deals to give money to kings so they could get a good title in the government. Like, I am the Duke of blah blah blah, and I give you money so you can marry my child and I can get that name.
Okay.
And that is something that we look at. But it's not something you can really ponder. that was useful because it showed a different and how people started to turn away from the natural, and it showed an introduction into modern art. It started the train into ideals. Just the looking of something is not the only thing that changes through generations. There's also the meaning behind it a little bit, right?
Uh-huh.
There was the what era was this? It was the era America was built around, where they built all those columns, like the Greeks did. It was an attempt to return to Greek stuff, where they would tell a bunch of Greek stories about Greek heroes, and they paint stuff like that. And that was the era.
Alright.
And that was that type of era. And it looked familiar. It looked similar. But we don't consider it that meaningless. Because it shows a progression of the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And while this is important because it shows how culture moved towards the aristocrats and veered away from other things, there's another painting called The Stonebreakers. Here's the thing. It's not because this looks pretty and that looks ugly. It's because it's being ugly is describing something, while this being pretty is not describing something. Stonebreakers is very pretty in and of itself. And there's some other paintings that are very pretty, like romantic paintings. They're very pretty. And sometimes they describe interesting things to ponder.
So you're saying that a painting that could be very non-eye pleasing, like someone could look at it and they could feel sick by looking at it, and that's justified because it means something? So say
If somebody would get
say
sick,
you look at something.
an artist, when they would make something to be sick, they would make it for the purpose of
They
being
would make
sick.
it for the purpose of being
They would want to
sick.
make the person like feel weird about it.
So is art just conveying this argument or feeling of whoever is creating it?
Yeah. That's what art is.
So that's art.
Yeah. Buildings are art. Well, not every building, but, well, I mean, technically they are, but, like, specific ones, like the Capitol building, was designed. We can look at that and think, oh, it uses a lot of Greek designs. In an oval shaped, kind of like what happened in, Istanbul, when they built with the windows, how they have it around, just like in the Capitol building. We can compare these things to see how the culture kind of moved. How this artist was influenced by something that happened thousands of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we observe the art. The art itself, when it comes to enjoying art, it's like saying the cheesy, what's that really cheesy, art, no, not art, the channel that makes the bad Christmas movies.
Hallmark?
Yeah, it's like saying a Hallmark movie compared to the Joker. Have you seen the Joker?
No.
Oh,
But I
what's the?
understand.
You know the Prince of Egypt?
I haven't watched it.
What's a really good movie? What's the best movie you know? Technically the best.
Megamind.
Oh yes, okay.
Hmm.
Megamind is genuinely good.
Hmm.
I mean, some people may not agree, but it is.
It looks good and is good.
Yes. Let's compare this Hallmark movie to Megamind.
Yeah.
Megamind, we consider it, when we look at it like critically, we consider a far better movie in every way.
Yep.
The jokes actually hit. It's interesting. The characters are lovable. And a Hallmark movie has the cheapest writing ever, and so forth, right?
Uh-huh.
But when it comes to enjoyment, if somebody likes a Hallmark movie, there's nothing to really say that what you like is wrong, right? What you like is what you like. It's the same way as us saying this. Oh God.
That was a
It's the same thing as us saying this Hallmark movie is crap, but Megamind's good. As like an art, as if I was saying that this art piece that looks kind of, it's the busy hour.
Yeah.
This art piece that looks interesting,
Uh-huh.
it's my grandparents.
Uh.
This art piece that looks interesting doesn't I'm sorry, I got off my train of thought.
Yeah, cars will do that to you.
Cars is the thing that did it to me. I want to finish this up, but it's like we can't if someone's enjoying this Hallmark movie,
Mm-hmm.
we can't say like what you're enjoying is wrong.
Yep.
We can say Megamind is better, and we enjoy Megamind. We don't enjoy that, but they might enjoy that, and they might not enjoy Megamind. What are we to say what is right and wrong? Just like with painting, it's all a human thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And it's all a human thing. Everything's meaningless. But if we want to hold on to these ideas that we have, like I know deep down that this Hallmark movie doesn't have to be bad considered by my definitions. This Illumination movie doesn't have to be bad because the animation's bad and the jokes are not good.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody enjoys it. But I do anyway. Because I get enjoyment from thinking about these things, from critiquing these things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get enjoyment from critiquing this art and pondering things. Even if the definitions are loose. Because nothing means anything. Everything's pointless. Nothing matters. Thank you for watching, everybody.
This has
That's-
been Midnight Crisis.
I think that's a general idea. Nothing means anything ever. Everything's useless. Do what you like. I like critiquing things that are given purpose by humans
Mm-hmm.
that have no explicit reason for having that purpose. And I'll keep doing it anyway. Even if I'm wrong.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, I would be lying if I said that you have not managed to convince me.
Oh.
Because I have actually taken that into consideration as much as I wish I didn't. Because the hard part of arguing is getting your point across. Because I've been considering this as an argument. Because, personally, I like art because it looks good. And I'm usually able to take things out of art that, mean something to me.
Yeah.
And also, you didn't let me finish a couple times
Oh,
when I
I'm
was
sorry.
talking.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you do that a lot. We gotta
I'm
work
really
on that.
sorry.
Don't worry, I understand.
Just tell me when I do it so we can keep going.
Alright.
I just thought I had a good ending there.
Yeah.
It's about to end. We'll be done.
Okay,
That's
that's
what I
I'll
said.
tell you when I got here.
Continue.
Alright. Crap.
Just be
Okay.
silent.
I would be wrong if you didn't... It would be wrong to say that you didn't convince me, because you did convince me that art should have some meaning behind it. But... And you... I gotta word this correctly.
Yeah.
Because you convinced me that your way of looking at it isn't bad. But the thing is, with pretentious people, they don't care how you look at it. It's how they look at it. It's one of the right ways to do it. You're not pretentious. You just
maybe.
like looking at things and then critiquing them.
in a pretentious way, I guess. Sure.
I guess.
Pretentious. I'm thinking pretentious is saying what you think is right
Mhm.
because you know more, and not looking at things in a informed, I guess, way.
Mhm.
It's not looking at things in an informed way. It's saying that you're right for seeing them that way.
Yeah. Which, in my opinion, isn't really that good. It's just art has a lot of bad rep because of these pretentious people that think that they're always correct in their assessments. And while they can be correct to the people around them and stuff like that, not everybody sees everything the same way. Like, two people could look at a painting, one person feels sadness, another feels happiness because of things that could have happened prior in their life. Like, perhaps
Yeah.
during their childhood they had a traumatic experience and the painting is of, like, a kid and his dad. Maybe someone's dad died, and so they feel sad about that. And maybe someone's dad is a great guy who they enjoy being around, who is still alive, and they take great happiness from it.
Yes.
So, I guess, in total, what I'm trying to say is that art is cool.
Art is cool.
Art is cool, and I can understand that paintings, or not just paintings, but art having meaning amplifies the art.
Mhm.
And that art by itself isn't always,
But that's only because we give it that meaning.
it's only because we give it that meaning.
Nothing really-
Nothing is meaningless.
Nothing is meaningless,
Nothing is
but
meaningless.
nothing is meaningful,
Mhm.
nor is it meaningless. Well, actually, I'm gonna say nothing is meaningful inherently.
Mhm.
The idea, meaning itself, that's like saying something's undefined in math.
Yeah.
It's not negative or positive. It's nothing, because we defined what meaning is.
Yeah.
Meaning is nothing without humans to even consider the concept of it being meaningful or not.
Mhm.
That's like saying Yeah, it's
It
a bit confusing.
it's
Right?
it's very confusing. Yeah.
But basically, the idea is that meaning's never a thing in the first place, and that the fact that we exist and give things meaning make them meaningful or meaningless.
Yeah. And
Nothing
these,
exists at all for any specific reason inherently
these
until
things
we do it.
these things exist because we have consciousness.
Yes.
And consciousness so far cannot be explained.
Yes.
Great segue back into what we talked about earlier.
Yep, and then
All this
we
stuff.
gotta wrap.
Consciousness leads to opinionation leads to I forget the word, but we were talking about it. Pretentiousness.
Yeah.
And pretentiousness may lead to some people being drawn away from art. Some
It's
people
just
being
this
drawn to-
idea of
It's-
egotism, but thinking that you are important. I'm so sorry. Continue. Yeah, you pointed it out to me.
Literally just started.
Because I saw you going on a tangent, I didn't agree with it, but I didn't make that apparent. Continue, sorry.
Okay. I forgot where I was going.
You were going pretentiousness to...
Pretentiousness to. So, art leads to opinions. Opinions can lead to pretentiousness. In
How about we come back, okay?
I guess in all, what I'm trying to say is what I'm trying to convey. Moreover, I'm trying to sound smart, but I can't because this is a topic that I haven't talked about that much. I've already said art is good.
Yes.
Let me add on to that. Art is good because we make it that way.
Mhm.
I've already said that. Art is good because we as people can enjoy it. We can talk about it to other people. It's just this entire thing. It's like a topic. It's another topic.
Mhm.
Like some people like talking about mechanics. Some people like talking about building. Some people like talking about ideas. And that's all basically and can be a definition of art. So, if we were really to think about it, art's not really anything.
Yep.
It's just the opinion of something being made.
It's just an expression of something you... It's an expression of things, and that are given meaning. Actually, I'm saying art is just the creation of something that wasn't there before into a specific view that you want it to be, and the meaning of art is just what we give it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about all the cars if you can hear them. I'm not sure if you can.
Yeah, you can definitely hear them.
Yeah, it's a lot of cars. Is that everything?
Yeah, I think that's everything.
Alright, I'm Monkey,
And I'm Paper.
and that was Midnight Crisis. I hope you had a midlife crisis.
Goodbye.